What's going on, guys? It's Devontae back with another money video. We do these on Mondays typically. I'm a little day late, but we're going to fix that right now. Today, I want to talk about knowing your why for your money to achieving your financial goals. And I just try to share, even if I'm just one step ahead of you, I still think that's enough. And it's more pertinent information than getting it from somebody who's 10 years removed from that step, right? So if I'm just one step ahead of you, it makes more sense that you hear it from somebody like me than somebody who's 20 years your senior giving you advice about the first step they did 20 years ago. It's more pertinent. It's like asking somebody for job market advice and they've been out of the job market for 6 years. It's completely different now. I guess I'll first share my whys, why you need them, and then I'll tell a story. For starters, it was independence from low leverage, which I have a video about leverage and we'll delve into that. If you're new to my channel, you should consider subscribing. Look at all my videos, they're pretty cool. Time freedom. I've dedicated a lot of hours to work, with the most hours worked in a week, I think about 85. I owe it to myself. There's going to be certain stories that I'm going to tell in the future, and there's going to be one story I tell now that displays why I owe it to myself. The last one is, honestly, you can't help anyone until you help yourself, so you have to secure you first. So those are my whys for my money and why they help drive my decision making and help me stay not only disciplined but passionate about why I'm doing this, and that helps me be so determined to shape the outcome that I want to shape for my financial future and my future in general. I have a story about infantilization. I have a story about being belittled, dehumanized. But I have a story about a different point of view than people who come on here complaining about jobs. It's about one where I transmute that negative energy and it makes me go harder. The story goes, I spent several months proving myself in a position, from taking on extra projects, traveling for business, doing walkthroughs for new associates, all types of different things, right? And I do this in every position I have, by the way. I either end up the person training someone, I end up the person, taking on extra responsibilities outside of my actual role, or just doing these special projects. I am that guy. So I did that in my time. I proved myself. It took some time because I'm not the smartest guy in the room ever. Some people may think I am, but I know in some areas I'm just not smarter than that guy. And I can easily point out to people who he's better than me at that. He's better than me. But the skill I have is noticing. So I know how to ask the right questions and I know how to pay attention. But something happened. Something happened that taught me how to stick to my why. I was pulled in the office months into my role. There had been several red flags about things that I think I should have been worried about before, but I was putting the blinders up because I had a goal in mind. Here's the straw that broke the camel's back. I was pulled into the office one day after going through a couple bouts of some personal thing. I was questioning about using my sick time. So I was within the confines. Beyond 2 days is where you start to have issues and you want to kind of have a doctor's note, right? But if you don't do that, you're fully within your right to use it as you see fit. I put something in the comment box like, I'll return on this day. I'm not going to tell you why I'm using sick time. It's none of your business. You're not a doctor. You're an employer. You just need to make sure I'm going to come back to work. That's the agreement that we have. So I would put that. So I would never use more than one day in a row. But what I had done special these two times, for no particular reason outside of I needed it, was I did it on a Friday and a Saturday. I did that twice. I was pulled into the office. And mind you, I've already proven myself over time. All that stuff I said before, I put the work in. I was pulled into the office for the first time in a feedback sort of way that was outside of metrics and things of that nature, right? Under, might I add, new management for structuring my time to extend the weekend. Not that I needed it. I was structuring it, and I was told to be mindful about how it looks. Although we can't tell you that you're not allowed to use your sick time because you're using it right, but just be mindful about how it looks. I'll let you guys in on a secret because I don't share too much about myself. I don't do well with threats to any capacity. You don't offer sick time, let the person use it within the confines of the policy, and then you take it to this gray area where you're just accusing someone of doing something they're not doing and not asking. but they can't ask because it's a legal thing, right? So that really broke the straw in the camel's back for me, and I left with so much negative emotion from that meeting that I went home early that day, and I was mad that I did. I was like, really? You let that get to you, bro? You know, shake that shit off. And then I got home, and it didn't stop making me mad. I was like, no, that was infantilization to the nth degree. I'm an adult. I did everything right. You just didn't like the fact that I knew that I could do it, and you softly threatened me. Absolutely not. But it helped develop something in me that I was like, no, no. To them, I'm a peon. How do you stop being a peon? Do you jump from job to job every year? Or do you make it so that you don't need them? So, this is where I talk about the not complaining about your job. I got to that place mentally that I didn't need to complain about it anymore. I knew what I was going to do. And that negative emotion, being able to tap into that moment in that meeting where I was basically being told you're doing everything right, but we didn't like how you did it. So here's a warning. I was able to tap into that. And so many other instances in the past where the same things happen that every time I don't feel like fucking doing it, I'm like, no, put that money up. No, get up and do that assignment right now. They're going to keep putting you in this box that you know you're too big for, but you have to prove yourself. You have to show you and then everybody else after that you are this person. But you have to prove it to self. That's most importantly. You have to look within and prove to self, I don't lie to me. I have a why. So when I say I'm gonna do 30 push-ups, fuck, I do 30 push-ups. When I say I'm gonna put up 150 bucks, $200, $800, $1,000 a month, whatever you put up, you do that and you make that shit happen. Because that is how you're treated as the adult that you are. That is how you're treated when you don't take yourself seriously. You're treated how someone else thinks you're worth. That's why they pay you the wage that they pay you. That's what your time is worth. So I'm offering a new perspective. Maybe don't complain and feel defeated. Yes, you can feel those things. Feel those things because that's how you get through them. But I'm giving you another way to navigate the waters of this new employment landscape, this new money landscape that we're in. Let that negative emotion shape you. Use it. Sometimes that respect you're looking for is not going to come with a please at the end. So I started doing my assignments. I was slacking on work. I created a schedule. I started investing. And I started taking myself seriously. So, what is your why for your money? Can you tap into that negative emotion from that experience? Or does it only make you stop doing things? Does it only slow you down? You will never get out. You will be stuck in purgatory. You will be stuck in low leverage. Or can you tap into it? Can it take you to a place where it turns you into a fucking machine, no matter if you work 8 hours or you have to go in and work 8 hours after? That was my why. I wonder if you have one too. If you enjoy videos like this, consider subscribing to me, and I'll leave you with a quote by Friedrich Nietzsche. He says, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Think about that.